This is my 2004 Chevy Cavalier, and this morning when I was going to work it seemed like my brakes were grabbing, so I'm just going to be replacing the caliper. This is on the driver's side front. So the first thing that we're going to do is I obviously have jacked it up and I'm getting ready to, just going to put a needle nose plier right on the brake line to stop it. Probably won't stop it completely from draining out, but we want to stop it. I am going to take off the line, and this is a 7/16. So I am losing a little bit of brake fluid there. So this is stuck on here from the Grudden crime. I'm going to force it off with the screwdriver, and we will make sure that we're going to clean this off with a wire brush. Now we're going to want to start taking the caliper off, and that's a 3/8 hex Allen wrench. And I might have to pull these out as much as I can. I'm going to go grab a pair of pliers to do that with. And these aren't going back in. Now we're going to want to get the caliper right off, and I usually use a rubber hammer to do that. Some people will scrape the ends off there. We've got that off. I'm gonna keep these pads. So I'm gonna take those off. If we just take a screwdriver, we can pop those out. I'm going to keep those, and my old caliper here will go back as a credit for the core. So now we're ready to put the new one on. I'm going to put my brake pads back in. Make sure they're seated in properly. Then we're going to put them on to the router. Now some people would replace the pads at the same time that they're doing this. Some people would have the router turned. I'm a backyard mechanic, so it's not something that I'm going to do this time. I just replaced my brake pads not too long ago, so they're even with my other ones. And we might have to wiggle this around a little bit to make sure it goes. Don't want to strip it. And we'll tighten that up. Snug that up. So I am going to clean that side off as much as I can with a wire brush. Want it to seat nice and well. Take the cap out. We're going to put in our washers. And we'll keep the washer right on that one. We'll tighten that up with the 7/16. And we'll take off our needle nose. And the last thing that we'll have to do is bleed them. So we don't have any brake fluid inside the little cylinder here. So that's next on our list to do. So I had a chance to wash my hands and a chance to get my mechanic assistant, my daughter, to come out, and she's gonna pump the brakes here in a second. I've loosened the fitting. Well, I haven't loosened it yet, but I've got the fitting ready to go. I've got my wrench. This is an 8mm wrench that I've put on there. I've got my tube to go into my mason jar so I can see. I'm going to be looking for bubbles, and I'm going to have my daughter pump the brake. So go ahead and press on the brake. Yep, press it down again. Okay, so I'm going to loosen it up. So go ahead and press it. Press on it. Keep going. Pump it. Let go. Now pump it again. Again. Keep going again. Okay, stop. Okay, so I had no bubbles coming out. So that tells me that, hopefully my line has no air in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my tire back on. I'm going to put everything back together and hopefully be all set. If I need to, I'll come back in and bleed them again, and we'll see. So I hope that helped, and good luck.